Hi, good morning. Myself Apuru Jyoti. Today we are going to learn the rest part of the lesson. That is, till in the last class we have learnt about Kakatiyas. How did how what are the stories of them, and we have learnt about this thousand pillar temple, Nagulapadu, Pillamari, Pillalamarri, Palampet, Kondaparthi, and all right. So now we are going to learn the rest part of the lesson. Let's see very interestingly. According to inscriptions and literature of Kakatiyas, traced their lineage or to certain Durjaya, they also adopted Telugu as a favored language of the court. So these people, they have adopted Telugu language as their favorite favored language. Means they whatever they follow, they feel comfortable according to them. That is favorable for them. So they have continued. They have adopted that language. Most of their inscriptions are in Telugu and they call themselves as Andhra Rajas. So whatever they have adopted Telugu language and they are telling that we are Telugu Rajas, and whatever the writings which are there, inscriptions which are written about the king, all those are in Telugu language. They are calling themselves as Andhra Rajas. They also sought to bring together the three regions in which Telugu was spoken. So they are trying to get the uh, places which are speaking Telugu. Those three regions which are there, they want to combine those three regions to make them one, because they are speaking Telugu, right? What are those three regions? The present coastal regions, Telangana region and Rayalaseema. That is coastal region, AP, Andhra, Rayalaseema and Telangana. These three regions they want to combine as one, because these three regions are speaking Telugu. In this manner, the Kakatiya kings tried to build a Telugu regional consciousness. So, by making all these three regions together, they are trying to build what? That you are Telugu regional people, you belong to Telugu region. They are trying to get that consciousness, means they want to make you people are Telugu people, you speak Telugu. That alertness they want to bring. To some extent, they were also successful, as even to this day they are remembered fondly in these regions. So, so they are very successful to create that awareness that you people are Telugu people, you are talking in Telugu, you come under this Telugu regions and all. They tried and they made successful that people should get that motive that we belong to this Telugu regional eh, Telugu regions and all. They are successful until today. They are found even in these regions. It seems, means these people are talking in Telugu and they say they are recognized as Telugu regions. So important Kakatiya rulers you can see there, right? Prolatu, Rudradeva, Ganapati Deva, Rudramadevi, Prataparudra. These all they have mentioned there, which are those are very important Kakatiya rulers, from which year to which year, common era they have ruled, they have mentioned there. The earlier members of the dynasty began their career as warriors and samantas of Rashtrakuta and Chalukya kings who were ruling Karnataka. So this dynasty, the early members of the dynasty began their means they started their career as warriors and samantas. Means they were directly not the rulers, they were warriors and samantas in the starting days of Rashtrakuta and Chalukya kings who were ruling. Means these Rashtrakutas and Chalukya rulers who were ruling in Karnataka, at their time, at their ruling time, these people started their career as what? As a warriors and samantas. They held the post of village heads called Rattadi, and through their military skills became army chiefs, samantas, etc. So before they had, they also they are in the post, good post, what? That they are the leaders, military skill, they are military leaders, head of village heads, like they are the village heads like Rattadi, and through their military skills they have very good military skills to make people in a disciplined way. They are also disciplined, they can fight for that village and all. Seeing that, they became army chiefs, means head of the army, and Samantas they became, but they were in the post of village head at that time in the starting days, and gradually gained control over Anmakonda in Telangana. So gradually, slowly they got a power over which place? Anmakonda, which is in Telangana. The Kakatiya emerged as independent rulers after the fall of Western Chalukyas. These Kakatiyas who were there, they emerged as an independent, means they growed as independent ruler. Now they are not under the control of anyone. They are not depending. They are depending on themselves. They became independent rulers. Afterward, after the fall of Western Chalukya, in the western areas, the Chalukya power got reduced. When they fall down, these people they got more independent there. They got more power there. During Rudradeva's rule, 1158 to 1195 Common Era, the capital was shifted from Anmakonda, that is Hanumakonda, to Orugallu, Warangal. So during the rule of Rudradeva, who is there, who was ruling from 1158 to 1195 Common Era, means from that year to 1195 year, the capital was shifted, means the capital city was shifted to Hanumakonda, that is Anmakonda. Now it is made as Hanumakonda. From Hanumakonda to Orugallu, that is to Warangal, they have shifted. The new city was laid out with a plan to accommodate the growing city population and to address the needs of an imperial capital. So why is this new, teacher? Why did they made new capital city, teacher? Already Hanumakonda is there. Why did they made Orugallu, that is Warangal, as new capital? Means to make the people, to provide people with all the facility, so that this Warangal is the main city where people can come and go, take all the commodities which they want. They can accommodate a plan to like create work for the people, so it will be easy for the people to take their needs and go. For that purpose, they made this Warangal as a capital city. Rudradeva built a big fort, a tank, and a temple called Thousand Pillar Temple in Anmakonda. See, Rudradeva, who is there, he built very big tanks, like for storing water. Thousand Pillar Temple he built. Where did he build this? In Anmakonda, that is Hanumakonda. Look at the map of Orugallu fort. You can see an outer fort walls with 4 gates. This wall protected the agriculture land and several water tanks within it. So if you see the Orugallu picture, this Orugallu fort is made of 4 gates which are protected, means very secure manner they built this fort. For the 4 sides there are different like gates are there, which are one side protected with agriculture land. Several water tanks are being there to the walls. In this area there were huts of many artisans like basket weavers. After crossing these, what comes to the center, where there was another moat and fort wall made of mud. So like this, for this there are different protective walls, gates and all are mentioned. If you see another mode, like different basket weavers huts were there, agriculture land was there to one side, to other side water tanks are there. And if you cross this center part, there are another forts made of mud the walls are made of mud, those forts are also there. So let us learn about this Orugallu fort and all detailing in the next part of the lesson, in the next video. If you like my video, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank